boys and girls, babies in your diapers. Welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius. Today we're going to talk about some very awesome stuff. We have a video about running a business, a book about featuring Geronimo Stilton, and we have a totally awesome guest. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Commissioner Mayra Uribe. Commissioner Uribe is the commissioner for District 3 in Orange County.
Hi, Tiberius Boy. Thanks for having me on your show. I'm so excited to be here this morning.
You're welcome. And today we're going to start off with a video game of the week, and this is going to be a money maker.
And now it's time for the video game of the week.
Today's video game is Business Simulator. This is a game on the Roblox platform. It was made by Spoink. Because it is on Roblox, you are able to play it on PC, Mac, Xbox, and even your cell phone. And it is free! Spoink has also made Lemon Simulator. This is another simulator game. In that case, you have to get as high as you want. First up, I got into the game, and it was pretty bad, because all I could see was just white, and everything was disabled. They offered a tutorial, but it was hard to understand, since it was hard to see. You can't advance until you click play, and then the screen changes, so that you can see the stuff now. This game looks a lot like Business Tycoon on my cell phone. So you start off, and you click on the lemonade stand, and it gives you a little money. You keep clicking till you have enough to hire a manager who does the clicking for you. You can get an advantage by using real money to get a multiplier, but my dad does not let me use real money on games like these. After, you can start to get a lot of money, so you can buy other businesses like the pizza shop or the baseball business. Each one costs more than the other, therefore it gives you more money each time you click it. Don't forget to hire a manager so you don't have to sit there and do all that clicking. Each business needs its own manager.
That's good that your dad doesn't let you spend real money, you know, because that could get really expensive. And I bet you're smart enough to really make some money at that lemonade stand. Yes. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yes.
That's awesome. I don't let my daughter buy any money on games.
I really don't think it's a good game because you just sit there clicking until you have enough money to buy the next manager. After you get so high and you unlock all the businesses, you can rebirth and do it all over again with a multiplier.
Okay, so how do you rate it?
Well, I give Business Simulator 4 out of 10 stars because it reminded me of Business Tycoon, and I am not a fan of clicking all day. Kind of feels like real work instead of running a business. And, well, I am allergic to manual labor.
Yeah, real work? No, Tiberius, you don't want to do real work. Not right now. No. You're only 9. Relax. Enjoy.
I mean...
hire a manager.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties. Contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org. The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of our dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom Braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering, to trophies and awards. They can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373. And now it's time for the book of the week, a cheese-colored camper van. This was written by Geronimo Stilton. Let me just back the book. In fact, Commissioner Uribe, would you like to do the honors?
Sure. Geronimo's on a road trip to the coolest part of Mouse Island. Grandfather William is desperate to publish a guidebook on Ratziguston, and he's asked the whole family to help. He's sure it'll be a bestseller if they ever manage to get there, that is.
This is an error book, and it's worth 1 whole point. It is rated for 3rd grade and 8th month. You can get this book at the library or on Amazon. I've really fallen in love with these books as series. We again join Geronimo Stilton, who runs the Rodents Gazette newspaper. He writes about his adventures as a traveler. This time, Geronimo's grandfather takes over and fires everyone and yells at the mouse on the phone. And then his sister comes in to the office, and Grandpa Shortpost was in Tears' ear, but yelling at Geronimo. We can see that Tia is the favorite.
Seems like it.
Well, then they want 3 million copies of a guidebook sent to Rakistan, which it is below 40 degrees there.
Ooh.
So they all get into a cheese-colored RV camper van. This is a super big camper van that all of them can get into. So they travel in the van and get lost. They trick Geronimo to get out and look for help. And he gets scared and runs away from his own shadow.
Oh, no. Ooh.
He gets some directions and they make it to Rakistan. On the way back, they got stuck 4 different times. Each time, Geronimo had to do the work, like chopping down a tree and fixing the tire. And, well, I'll let you read the book yourself to see how this cool adventure ends. I'll give the cheese-colored camper van 10 out of 10 stars, because I really liked that they had a big camper van so that they could cook and eat while they were driving down the road.
Nice. 10 out of 10? That's huge.
Yeah!
And 1 point for an AR? That's huge, too, because a lot of books are only half a point.
See, Tiberius Smith, law.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
That website again is cwsmithlaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. This is going to be so much fun. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Commissioner Mayra Uribe.
Oh.
Commissioner Uribe is the commissioner for District 3 in Orange County.
Hi, I am so excited to be on here. Tiberius, boy. I love your name. I love what you did with my name.
Well, thank you. So first off, how are you enjoying being on the show?
I love it. I love hanging out with you. Video games, books, great stuff. All that we're missing is ice cream. I put a thought in his mind.
Okay. So you are a county commissioner, and that means you work in government. Can you tell my listeners what a commissioner really does?
Yeah, Tiberius, what a great question. So I was born and raised here in Orlando, and I wanted to get more involved. So I started volunteering as I was a young kid and in school, Girl Scouts, all those things. And then I realized the best way I can help people is try to set the rules and the services so we can help people. But we can also help businesses. So we got to help everybody, you know? So in government, you can't just help one person. You have to help everyone.
And you gotta help small businesses.
Yes, you do.
So I've been trying to learn about government and what it really does. My dad says they make rules and laws. My mom says they make programs to help people. And my grandpa says they just take all your money. Can you tell me what government really does?
Actually, it's a mix of what your mom, your dad, and a little bit of what your grandpa says. But we don't take all your money, but there is this thing called taxes. But what's really good is we do make laws and we make rules, but we do a lot of programs to help people. And something, you know, you like reading. Something I did last year, I started a reading program for kids. And they actually got prizes. And guess what? They got like tickets to Universal for reading, and tickets to Fun Spa, and tickets to SeaWorld and Aquatica. So talk about AR huge was my reading program.
So how does government help kids?
Well, a great example is we get to make sure we offer services that are going to get to families and they go to kids. So like I said, something really I was excited to do is start a reading program for the schools in our district. Now, it was over the summer. And sadly, because of coronavirus, we couldn't do it this year. But last year we did it. We had all the kids and we had a startup party and we did story time and we put a list of books for them to read. But guess what? They had to write a mini report to tell us what they read about. But you're good at that. You know stories. It was great. We gave them rewards for winning. So it was awesome. But we do a lot more. But I can't wait to tell you all about it.
So what is the best part about working as a commissioner?
The best part is being with people. I love people. You know, I'm a mom. I have 2 kids. I have a daughter named Faith. She's 16. And I have my son, Lincoln. He just turned 3 years old. And I like doing this stuff, like coming out, hanging out with you, talking to people, helping people, and just being there for our community. So I love doing what I do. And you know what they say? If you love what you're doing, what you do, it's not a job.
Wow.
Yeah.
So to get this job, you had to win an election. Was that hard to do?
That was so hard. Now, Tiberius, you don't like a lot of manual labor. Well, guess what? We had to do a lot of manual labor. We walked and talked to meet voters and, tell them who I am and what I wanted to do. But it was so satisfying to win because then all that hard work happened, just like all your hard work. It pays off. And so I'm a very lucky lady to be in the position I am.
Yes, it is. So, you kind of knew the job you wanted to do and what to expect. But it was that one thing that happened when you first started the job that you did not expect.
Ooh, that's a tough question, Tiberius. I didn't expect. Oh man, I'm not at a loss of words. I guess I didn't expect so many meetings and having to work every weekend. I think that was the hardest part because I do have my daughter and my son. Yeah, sometimes I don't get home till 10 o'clock at night, and I have to leave really early. Usually, I'm out of the house by 7, so I get sad when I don't get to see the kids a lot. And then I always have to work weekends. But I have a rule. Unless it's absolutely necessary, I take Sundays off. I like to go to church. I like to go out to lunch, pre-COVID, and I like to be with my families. A lot of times we even have pajama Sundays. Oh, yeah.
So what is your greatest achievement while working as a commissioner?
My greatest achievement so far has been my reading program. I also, though, got to say COVID and how it affected our community, making sure people in my community had testing available, they had food, they had face masks. So it's a double one. My reading program, if we had never gone through COVID, and getting to 200 kids who we got to read over the summer. But because of COVID, making sure my community had testing, had face masks, had supplies that they would need during this time. So this is an interesting time,
Okay. So, what got you started in wanting to be in politics and government?
My mom.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom is my hero. And when I was a little girl, I was 11 years old, she wanted me to go and help people get into office because she wanted me to be part of how our world is run. And she always pushed me. And you know what she used to tell me when I was a little girl? She used to say, Mayra, you can be whatever you want to be as long as you work hard and you stay focused. And really, my husband and my family is great, but the person who got me here and inspired me is my mom. And I love you, Mom.
That's so cute. So, why are you running again for the same job?
Because normally you get to be in the job for 4 years. But I won this thing called a special election, which means I wasn't able to be there 4 years. I only got to be there 2, and I haven't even been there a full 2 years. So technically, this would be my first full term, which means I get to be there for 4 years when we win this election coming up.
So is there a certain project that you want to finish before this term is finished?
I want to keep, this weekend, I'm going to be giving out back to school supplies because school starts. either if you're going to go in person or you're going to go virtual. So what we're going to do this weekend is we're going to have a drive up back to school event. So I'm going to put everything in the backpack. You're going to drive up and I'm going to hand it to you to put through the window. So it's kind of cool, but we're going to keep doing a lot of stuff and we're going to finish this weekend, but we still got a lot of work to do. And we also have some government stuff to do, rules, money, laws, but we'll get to those.
If we could go back 10 years and tell yourself something, what would it be?
Tiberius, can I honestly tell you this is the best question I've ever been asked? And you know what it would be?
Wow.
Can I be honest with you? This is breaking news. To not be afraid. Because see, in politics it gets hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are mean. Sometimes people like to say things and it's hurtful, because you're a person and I have a heart. But you can't let fear stop you. You know how you get up and do this and your family supports you and you feel so strong? Don't ever be afraid. Because what my mom told me, you can do whatever you set your heart to, whatever you set your mind to. And if I could go back 10 years, I think I would have been stronger. But I also believe everything happens for a reason. And so I wouldn't be here on this show if things had been different 10 years ago. So don't be afraid. Thank you.
Yes. So what advice do you give my listeners if they want to grow up and become a county commissioner?
Oh my gosh, I love this question. If you want to grow up and be a county commissioner, get involved. Be a part of your community. You know what I like to do? I like to bring high schoolers into my office and let them learn all that happens. And over the summer, I have a lot of high schoolers. I have 3 high schools in my district, Boone, Oak Ridge, and Colonial. It's a little bit older than your time. And I like them to come and be a part of it. Get involved. Anything is possible if you set your heart and your mind to it. You can do this.
Oh, okay. So when you're not working hard as the commissioner, what do you do for fun?
I like cake. I know we're not supposed to talk about food, but honestly, I love hanging out with my family. I love sitting around, watching movies. My son, Lincoln, he loves cars. So I've seen the movie Cars 1, 2, 3, even though I think number 2 is a little bit violent. But I like watching cars and doing zoom, 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 and we race. And I love hanging out with my daughter and talking to her. And guess what? Even sometimes I like hanging out with Kevin, my husband, because he's funny and we get to laugh, and he's awesome.
Okay, so what is your favorite book to read?
I've read so many books. This one's hard because I used to read these books with my daughter all the time. I like Judy Blume books. Do you know I still have my Judy Blume book when I was in elementary school?
Oh.
Yeah, and she's still around, and I'm old.
Wow.
So go figure.
Wow. Okay. Now can you tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid's show, but that one story, that you're not supposed to tell me. Come on, you can tell me.
So is it like an embarrassing story? This is interesting. So, we go and we're always like going on talking to people and knocking on doors. And one time I was running to a meeting, and nobody was around, thank goodness. So there's no video on this. But sometimes my husband always says, take your time, don't rush. And I was rushing and I slid and fell on the ground and my pants had all this dirt on it and it hurt. And then the first thing I thought was, oh no, who saw me? I wasn't even worried about that I was on the floor. I was like, did anyone see me? No one saw me. So, and then another time I had toilet paper on the bottom of my shoe, but luckily someone said, ma'am, you have toilet paper on the bottom of your shoe. And I was like, phew, that could have been super more embarrassing.
Yes. Well, since there is an election this upcoming week, can you tell my listeners why the parents should vote for you?
That's a great question, Tiberius. Because I'm like them. I'm a mom. I'm raising my kids in this community.
That is true.
Yep. Lincoln and Faith. Raising my family in this community. I'm born and raised in this community. And then my family and I were also small business owners. And I believe when you ask me that question about what do we do, and your mom gives you an opinion, your dad and your grandpa, we do it all. But what we got to make sure is when we do our job, we think about the people that live in this community. I want to think about you when I'm making decisions. I want to think about your dad and everyone's family so that I can try to make the best decisions for your future.
So, is there anything I should think my listeners should know about you?
You've pulled out all the good stuff out of me. You are one impressive radio host. Just that I love my community. I love being a mom. I love that I was born and raised here, and I've got pictures at Disney and SeaWorld when I was a little girl, and now I get to have them with my children. And then I'm a hard worker, and I'm going to do the best I can, and I always appreciate so many opportunities. So You're awesome.
Okay. So do you have a website or Facebook for my listeners to know to follow you?
I do. So I have my campaign one is Vote Uribe. That's Uribe. But I also have, you can follow me on my Facebook just under my name. Remember I was telling you I'm going to put this show on there because I have 5,000 friends. Whew.
And I only have 500.
Oh, we're going to have to become friends.
So what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
You ask so many amazing questions. You're really good at this. Mm-hmm. You know, you ask me what I do for fun. What do I do at my job? I kind of told you my kids' names, my husband's name. You know where I was born. I don't know. Maybe you know what you can ask me? What do I want for my birthday?
Oh, what do you want for your birthday?
You know what I want for my birthday? I want some cake from Publix. That's my favorite cake. So I want that. But really, Tiberius, I really want our community to get through this. I want to be there for people as they're going through COVID and continue to help them and hopefully continue to work for your future and my kids' future so we can have a great life to its fullest potential. So that's what I want.
Okay. Well, thank you, Commissioner Uribe, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Let's do it. I'm pretty good at math.
Yeah.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. The Tiberius Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
Well, thank you, Commissioner Uribe, for your help with Math Corners. So I tried to learn how math is used in being a commissioner, and there's a ton of stuff on Google under funny math and commissioners doing bad things. So I had to ask my dad to look for help. He spent over an hour looking and decided to show me math about county budgets. After 2 more hours, we had lots of papers all over the place and a blank look on his face. And I could tell we were going to talk about something else. Well, my dad wanted to show me that a county needs to plan spending for the police and the fire department and the staff, the work in the buildings, family services, retirement plans, building rents, and even debt interest from the past loans. We have been learning about loans and interest, but the charts were so big and the numbers were in the billions with a B. So we thought we could do a graphic percentages to show how much is spent of the entire amount of money collected. But after a few hours, my dad said we would need to get an accountant on the show one day to make sense of all the stuff he tried to research. But I think the important part for my listeners to take from this is that running accounting requires a lot of math. so much that even my dad is having a hard time with it. So you have salaries and land and parks and buildings and even the libraries and the public schools to account for. So Commissioner Uribe, now that I can see from my dad's blank face how hard your job must be, how can you keep this all together and all the math needed to run accounting and all the expenses?
You know, Tiberius, I can understand your dad's blank face because even before I came a commissioner, I wanted to know. So I actually went down to the county and sat for 3 days, 8 hours a day, as every department explained how they spent money, why, for their employees, for their projects, and how much money they needed. And it's so much, but you know what's wonderful is that we have a lot of accountants at the county,
Yes.
you know, so it's not just one. And we just have to make sure that we're checking over them, you know? It's like you want to make sure everything looks good, the numbers add up, and we're not being wasteful.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. You don't want to waste money.
Yeah.
Because that's not a good thing. So it is a lot. And your dad and his blank face, I could understand it because a lot of people ask me about it.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, Commissioner Uribe, for your help with math equipment.
I'm here for you.
And now it's time for the Heart of a Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the heart of a lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and ability. This week, we're going to talk about leadership. For me, I think leadership is the act of loving what is good, having self-control, and being disciplined. The qualities of leadership are providing guidance and direction, organization, and being a positive influence on others. So this week, I was able to go to the Pepsi Informational bowling tournament, and it was a lot of fun, but it was supposed to have happened in April, but because of COVID-19, it was delayed twice. They had to find a different bowling alley that was 2 hours away, and they have to make a lot of rules for all the players to follow our social distancing. Then there was a hurricane, and over 100 players canceled. The Pepsi organizers moved around the players, so over 1,200 players could still compete in the tournament. It was so much work, and they managed it to pull it off. They worked so hard for so many weeks to help make this happen for all the kid bowlers. This is self-control and being disciplined. And it would be easy just to cancel it and wait till next year, but they worked so hard and pulled it off anyway. I want to thank all the people that worked on this for showing leadership and ensuring everyone got to compete. So, Commissioner Uribe, did you see or use leadership at all this week?
I did, and Tiberius, what a great story, and that is some hard work, you know?
Yes.
That is very, very impressive. Yeah, leadership to me is so many things, and like I said, you know, I still like to be people to understand who I am and that I'm there for them, but you do have to make tough choices. During COVID, we had to make tough choices of protecting our families, of encouraging people to wear face masks so they stay safe. But then also, I have to be leadership at home with my family and my kids. And what does that mean going back to school, which is also a big thing. But to me, leadership is so many things. But what it is realizing that you are a leader who serves other people. And you are there for other people. And you work hard and they expect a lot out of you. And you have to make sure that when you're making decisions, you're thinking of all those people there and you're making the best decision for the circumstance. And remember I told you about my back to school thing? Normally we have an event, we do hot dogs, hamburgers, people come out and all that. We can't do that this year because of COVID and social distancing. So as a leader, I said, you're going to drive up and I'm going to hand you your backpack. And then you're going to have everything you need and you're going to go. So we can't have a party this time, but in the future, we will be back. So to me, that's leadership, looking out for people who are around you and making sure you're helping protect those as you're doing that.
Well, we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do.
Yes, sir.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Commissioner Mayra Uribe for being on my show. And it's been so much fun talking to you today. Maybe one day I can visit your office and see what it all looks like.
Definitely. You better come on over and we can take some pictures in my office too.
Ooh.
You can sit at my desk. Ooh. You can't put your feet up though. Oh.
I mean, yeah.
So I want to tell all the listeners here that are listening to you, and thank you, Tiberius and your dad, for having me on the show today. And please follow us on social media. See what we're doing. We have so many things for our community, and we'd love for you to be involved and stay involved. And I can't wait to stay in touch with you. We're new friends. Thank you, Tiberius. Thank you for having me on the Tiberius Show. Boy.
And make sure to listen to us next week on the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius. Boy.
The Tiberius Show is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Executive producer, Joseph Boy. Production editor, Pierre Laguerre. Green Room manager, Danny Boy. And your program host, Tiberius Boy. The Tiberius Show is copyright 2018.